Hi everyone, it's Susie and Jamie. Jamie's pulling up his watch party, so we are welcoming you. I'm so happy for today's meditation. It's all about your highest self in COVID, living your highest life during COVID. So I'm really excited about today. Can't wait to dive in with everyone. So as you're gathering, please let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you are. Welcome each other. Let us know that we're not alone. I'm hoping I get to see the chat today. Every once in a while, it comes through. So as people are gathering, I'm going to just jump in because I'm really excited about today's theme. It's about living your highest self, living your highest vision during COVID, and why it is that you would shrink down. Why would you live anything less than your highest self just because we're going through a different situation, a different circumstance? And so this is a permission. This is an encouragement to give yourself permission to rise up and live your highest life during COVID, during this time, just like you would during any time. So why would we wait till the outer circumstances are easier, are more graceful, are more supportive? Of course, it's easier to live your highest life then, but it's these times when we are living in a different kind of a life, a self-imposed, well, not self-imposed, but a quarantine, a self-sheltering. So we have certainly a different outer life for certain. And you want to put the...
Got it.
Thanks. So it's easy to live that high life when everything around us seems like, looks like, feels like we're getting permission from the outside in. But this COVID situation, this quarantine self-sheltering situation, is asking of us to give ourselves the inner permission to rise up and live our highest life in the midst of these outer circumstances. So just let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're with us. And let us know if that resonates with you at all. You know, for me, what I've been sharing is that at the beginning of COVID, I went through a huge breakthrough, a huge transformation, a lot of pain, a lot of breaking through hardened conditioning that I had been raised with around abundance. I had a lot of fear going into COVID around the stock market, and had a lot of pressure on myself, feeling like I needed to make the right decision for our family, to make sure that we held on to the money that we have saved. And it was just a lot of old conditioning. And I felt a lot of pain and a lot of the pressure of that old conditioning. And I did my work and am still doing my work day to day and have had a lot of breakthroughs in that area. And so the first step is to be aware of your old conditioning. And I was painfully aware of my old conditioning. That's the first step, awareness. Then it is to recognize, oh, I can have a breakthrough from that old awareness. That's just old conditioning. It feels really real. It feels like who I am, but it's conditioning from generations and generations and generations before me. And I can have a breakthrough, and you can have a breakthrough. And as you give yourself permission to have that breakthrough, which I did, then I open up like a chick, peeking out of an egg, breaking through an egg, pecking out of an egg. It's like a chick has had an outer shell around it. You can think of a caterpillar, many, many metaphors in nature. But peeking out, and when the chick pecks through that seemingly hard shell, it pecks through to this huge new world. So its old world was small and confined, nurturing as it was, and then it breaks through to this larger world. Now then, the practice is to give yourself permission to live in that new world and not go back to your old world. So that's the question for today, is how are you being called to break through what is your breakthrough? And then can you give yourself, and will you be willing to give yourself permission to live in that new world, that expanded world, in from this moment forward, and not go back to the old world, not go back to your old conditioning, not go back to that old confinement, not go back to that old imprisonment. So we're going to ask my husband to sing, but before, I want to ask if you have anything to say about that. Does it resonate with you? Have you experienced any breakthrough? I mean, I feel like we've been living our definite highest life, so it's like, can we give ourselves permission to stay there? Any of you resonate? I'm not getting any of the chats, but any of you, please, please, please comment.
Dave Lopez came on again. And Tina Salvatore Allen and Wick Hampton. Hi.
Hi.
You know what comes forward for me, and I know this is an old idea, and it goes back to the idea of witnessing that we talked about the other day, is the idea of like, okay, we're living in this, and we're kind of like steeped in a lot of consciousness, making a lot of music, and there's a certain part of me that comes up that goes, you know, can I sustain this? Can I, you know, and that self-judgment. So I'm witnessing that. I'm witnessing that that's coming up. Mona there?
Hi, Denny. Hi, Mona. Sorry to interrupt you.
So it's for me, it's about witnessing, but I feel like that, as I've oftentimes heard you say, and I'm aware of, it's the first step towards changing, because I mean, having this opportunity to really kind of steep in this and sit with it, it's like I really get to look at it. It's not like, okay, well, I got to go do a gig, I got to go out here, or I got, you know, I'm going to the grocery and back is basically it. So the rest of the time I get to like really, oh wow, look what I'm doing again, which is also what my session with Holly was about. Witnessing when the empathic aspect of me, being really clear about what's my energy and what's someone else's energy.
Yes.
Like I came in here late today, and I was sorry, but I was back there working on songs and getting ready. And Suze likes to be more prepared and understand it. I totally get it, but you were a little upset when I came in, and it's not a judgment. It's just like, oh, but then I caught myself going, oh, this is more how Susie does it, that she wants to be boom, 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 and have it all ready and be here, you know, 5 or 10 minutes early.
Yes.
I get it. I understand. It's just a different way that she operates than the way I operate. And instead of like going like, you know, F off or whatever.
Yes.
And even in my mind,
yes,
I witnessed, oh, Susie's anxious because she likes to be ordered.
Yes.
And I'm more likely to just boom, jump in and go, you know?
But
and it's not a judgment of me, and it's not a judgment of you, but it's both of our strengths that we can draw from to live a more fulfilled life, and a more conscious life, and a more awakened life.
Yeah. And just to piggyback off of that, because it's exactly what we're talking about, you know, I do like to get here. I like to be here 5 minutes early. I like to be still so that I create that welcoming space for everyone. Yes. And as the minutes were ticking and you weren't here, I was doing the same thing in my consciousness. You know,
someone wants to come in.
Our doggy wants to join us. I was doing the same thing in my consciousness. I was recognizing that, yes, I like to be the one to hold the space. That is how I like to do it. But I also want to be open to the way Jamie does it, because we're better together. Maybe let him out. Our dog has allergies. I'm sorry, everybody. Our dog has allergies. What can I say?
Sorry. Let him out.
It's okay. But what I want you to hear is, when we're talking about living our highest life in quarantine, these are the small. So I was talking about, I had this big macrocosm breakthrough about living in abundance, I'm feeling into my highest self. That's the macrocosm. That's where it's easy to go, oh yeah, that's who I am. And then the microcosm is so distracted by my dog, I'm sorry. The microcosm is the day-to-day, the moment-to-moment, the real moments when life happens and you get to watch how you respond or react or get triggered. So in that moment between us, that's such a great example, because am I going to shrink and contract, or like Jamie said, is he going to shut down and just kind of go F you, or is he going to recognize, oh, that's Suzi's energy, that's not my energy? And I was the same. I was sitting here going, okay, well, this is I'm in my space. I'm in excellent. So as everybody's jumping back on, what we're really seeking to communicate today is when we each and all set a really specific intention to give ourselves permission to live our highest life, and what does that high life look like for you during COVID? So what we've been talking about so far is that we have an intention to live our highest life, and then life happens. These little moments that can distract us from our highest life. So what we've been talking about so far is that we had a little moment, and the way that Jamie chose to respond to that moment was recognizing, oh, that's Suzi's energy, that's not my energy. And meanwhile, in my consciousness, I'm having the same response. Oh, I appreciate Jamie's spontaneity. I appreciate how he is. So neither one of us were in a paradigm of right, wrong, better, worse. He was not blaming me. I was not blaming him. And because of that, then it doesn't distract us. We're not denying what happened. We're sharing what happened.
But can I say something to that? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
But the fact that we're taking and saying it out loud, would it serve us more to be able to say that instead of just keeping that in and going, oh, well, in my mind I'm going, well, okay.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like we're saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But we're saying it out loud here. And I mean, it would serve us to say it out loud just in life. Okay, I realize this is your energy. How can I say that in a way that won't be offensive to you? Or would that be offensive?
Well, if it's offensive, then that's my energy.
Okay.
Right? But if you're saying it from a place of sincere desire to connect,
right,
I'm going to feel that energy.
Right.
I'm going to feel, oh, he's just has a sincere desire to connect, and vice versa.
Instead of like, oh, okay, like that's your energy kind of thing, which is there's judgment behind it and a little resentment perhaps on my part. But if I say, oh wow, I hear you and I'm sorry that you're feeling that way, kind of thing.
Exactly. And then on my part, you're looking at yourself of how you can tend to just protect yourself and go to that knee-jerk reaction, right?
Right.
And meanwhile, I'm looking at my side of the street, which is about, and maybe many women can relate to this. I was taught, do not have any needs, do not ask for what you want, just martyr yourself, like do everything for everyone else, but do not have needs, and certainly do not request needs. So then I have requested, hey babe, do you mind if we get here 5 minutes early? We get still, that's something that I just like. I like to connect with you. Yeah. And so then it goes back onto my conditioning of, oh yeah, I shouldn't ask for what I want. If I do ask, it's never going to get met. Right. So when we each take the time to look at the things that block us from living our own highest life, and we look at it, and then we can say it out loud, then it really has nothing to do with the other person.
Right.
Because really it had nothing to do with you.
Right.
It had to do with me in my family of origin and the way I was raised by the women who came before me, right? And even my dad, my mom, like no one had space in my family to have a need except my mom,
Yeah.
right? So absolutely, to say it out loud after you've looked inwardly at what is my part of the dance.
Right.
And I'm painfully aware of what is my part of the dance.
Yeah. And it's probably better for me to, like you say, to wait, to take a breath and not react
Right.
to your energy, but just stop. Because I did. I in my mind, I'm like, I was in my mind, I'm going, it's like, okay, that's your energy. You know? But when I took a time, it's like, oh yeah. Because I mean, not to defend, but it's like I kept looking at the clock, and then I started thinking of another song that I wanted to do, and it's like so it was definitely my bad, because I definitely want to honor that time frame for you, so you feel more comfortable, and then we can feel more comfortable, so we don't start out with that energy. But I also think it's the beautiful part that we're conveying, that it's like, look, we're not perfect, this is how we're doing it, and these are the action steps
Right.
that we take on a daily basis to get back to ourselves. And for some people it's like it's too much work, but for us,
Yeah.
it really works, and it serves our life, it serves our relationship with William, it serves our relationship with one another, and I'm also, that's what you're talking about too, it's like I'm holding that when I go back out into the world and I get on the road and someone's cutting me off or on my tail or something like that, I can go, it's like, oh wow, they must be in a hurry, they must be anxious, they must be uncomfortable, and I don't have to flip them off and start screaming at them. You know, so I mean,
seriously, I mean, seriously, you know. And I think when you're talking about maybe it's too much work for you, I've tried to reframe that word work to practice. It's definitely a practice.
Yes.
Just like brushing our teeth, it's definitely a practice. And that's why much of mainstream doesn't live a conscious life, because it is an ongoing practice. And now I've taken it on, like, bring it on. I want to dive in, you know, I'm hungry for it because of the payoff, because the payoff is deeper intimacy and connection between us, between other people, between everywhere in my life. You're laughing, that's funny.
I just saw Kevin Cadell's
what did he say?
Hi Jamie and hi Suzi Lula. What I missed.
Go back and watch, because you missed our life. This is, you're exactly. Like our wacky life. Okay, so let's just say we're going to dive into a meditation. Is everybody with us? Is this resonating with any of you? We want to know. Is this resonating at all?
Deborah Gale joined.
And hi, Deborah Gale. We love you, Deborah Gale. Anybody who doesn't know Deborah Gale needs to know Deborah Gale. This is a sister on the path with us. She's a practicer like no other. She's a student. She's a seeker. As we're so fortunate that I think everyone on here, Desi and Deepti and all of you, Denny, all of you are seekers with us. Robert, who else is here?
Arthur Sirota, Kevin Cadell, Dave Lopez was here. I don't know if he stuck around, but hey. William Oliver III, my young brother from another mother, one of my former teens, now a young adult.
Everyone is saying that this is resonating, so good. So now we're going to just become still, and let's, each one of us, call forward either the breakthrough that you have had since COVID, the breakthrough you are seeking, the highest life you are seeking to live. Call that forward, and then we're going to move into a meditation around giving ourselves permission to live our highest life, not waste a moment not living our highest life. So we're just gently closing our eyes. Just allowing our hearts to open. We're moving from our head to our heart. We're meeting each other in the place of the heart. heart to heart. And then we just allow ourselves to receive this beautiful music, this beautiful message through this beautiful man.
It's gonna be the best day of my life. In the golden sun or snowy white, gonna use my smile as a fashion, gonna let my love be an action. It's gonna be the best day of my life. Run and jump, play a good game, stumble and fall, make some mistakes. Did I give it my best? Did I give it my all? Did I do my best? Can't compare myself with all of the rest. Oh, it's gonna be the best day of my life. In the golden sun or snowy white, like they're having in Michigan. Gonna use my smile as a fashion, gonna let my love be an action. It's gonna be the best day of my life. Rain or shine, it's a beautiful feel. Dance to the thunder, singing like steel. If it's bright outside or cold to the bone, muggy hot, no wind, awaiting a storm. Oh, it's gonna be the best day of my life. In the golden sun or snowy white, gonna use a smile as my fashion, gonna let my love be an action. It's gonna be the best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Life's an adventure, life is a joy. We need no permission to live like we love it and love who we want to. Oh, it's gonna be the best day of my life. In the golden sun or snowy white, gonna use a smile as my fashion, gonna let my love be an action. It's gonna be the best day of my life. Oh, 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 oh. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Best day of my life.
So we're just soaking that in. We're allowing that to wash over us. Allow ourselves to be bathed in that permission to live the best day of our life, to live our best life, even and especially during this time. So we're asking ourselves, what does our best day feel like today? What does our best life feel like during this time? We're just listening. What does your best life look like and feel like during this time, today, without waiting, without wasting? This day, this time, allow your highest life and the vision of your highest life to come forward, to speak to you. Invite it in, welcome it in. Who are you when you allow yourself to be immersed in your highest self? When you don't shrink, when you don't push yourself down into a smaller container, who are you? What do you feel like? What is your life like? Who are you when you show up in your life from this highest vision, this highest version? Allowing the highest vision of who you are, when you invite and you give yourself permission and you are committed to living your highest life and not waiting, but living it today. What does that look like today? What does that feel like today? What spiritual qualities are present in your life today? When you just give yourself permission to dive deep and to rise high, to sail and to soar into the place within you that wants to live full on, full out, without holding back, no censoring, no ceiling, no walls, no limitation. Who are you without limitation? Who are you? Let that place speak. Let that place rise up within you. And simply become grateful. Acknowledge yourself. This is how you're choosing to invest your time. You're choosing to turn within and to touch in and tap in and tune in to the highest vision and the highest version of yourself, and to support yourself into living that today. So acknowledge yourself for being here. Appreciate yourself for taking the time, for creating the space to connect with the flow that is within you, the flow that is connected to the greater flow of life. Appreciate yourself, acknowledge yourself, become grateful, and then set your intention to live on fire today, to rise up, to be ignited, to let that fire, that spark, that flame within you, to be large today, to be contagious today, like a wildfire. Allow it to take over your life and allow it to touch everyone around you. It's so inspiring to be around inspired people. It's contagious. And so as you're just giving yourself that permission, I'm just gonna let Jamie give us that permission through song.
Waste I won't waste, waste I won't waste. Ooh, waste I won't waste, waste I won't waste. Ooh, every moment, every step I take, with every heartbeat and every breath I breathe, I'm grateful. It's sacred, so beautiful. I feel your precious presence as my life. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. Hi, James Folk. Every conversation is an opportunity to see the light of love shine as our divinity. It's sacred, so beautiful. I feel your precious presence as my life. Now I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. Sing it with me. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. Make that your mantra. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. Now I don't care how old I am or how I've stumbled down. I've got faith and good reason to let my spirit soar like a phoenix thundering out. I've been stuck to sing a song of truth. I'm not stuck inside illusions or the fantasy of youth. And I rise and I sail and I pour beyond the walls I built. And I roar like a distant Mahalia singing through the dawn. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste, I won't waste one more minute of my life. And I won't waste one more minute of
are you laughing?
I don't know. I'm just laughing.
So we gently open our eyes. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to waste one more second of my day. Jeez Louise. I'm on fire. I'm not going to hold back. Please share in the chat. Are you on fire? Are you... This is our son calling from the other room.
Okay.
You go on with you go on with the chats. Hi, Lovey.
So
what's up?
we're grateful that you're here today. She's on the
Yes.
phone with William, who's just out in the studio.
What do you,
We're grateful to be here. And
I'll come in 5 minutes.
I just want to reiterate the idea of
Oh.
witness. When you fall off the wagon, it's like just witness. I fell off. Get back on the wagon
okay,
of
yes,
love.
do it. We can
The
always
wagon
return
of love.
it. Yes.
Get back on the love
Go
train.
for it.
And this is so interesting. The little phone call.
I'm so sorry.
I know,
He's
this is
at the printer.
taking care of yourselves. Oh, he's at the
You want
printers?
to buy a laser printer? Yes, just
Okay,
buy it.
yes.
Yeah, go for it.
I-
Okay.
Check the.
Okay,
yeah.
bye.
Okay.
He's at Staples. I thought he was
I
in
didn't
school.
know. I know.
I thought he was in school.
I thought he had school at
We thought he
9:40.
was right there on the other side of that wall, but you know. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
The idea of witnessing what's going on. If you can find it within you to take a breath, take a step back, and witness. Oh, this is what's going on. Oh, this is not my energy. Oh, I'm responding this way. Someone's cutting me off. Oh, they must be in a hurry. They're not doing anything to me unless I allow it to be done to me or create it in my mind.
Right.
Just pay attention. Just pay attention and witness it. I think that's a really.
Right.
For me, it's about finding compassion for myself, which I think many of us. Well, I know that none of you have this challenge, but finding compassion for myself can sometimes be a challenge. So, find compassion. Witness myself. Find compassion, and make a choice to take a different action.
Right. Because when you witness yourself, then you realize, oh, these are the ways that I'm getting in my own way of the flow.
Yes.
The flow of abundance, the flow of spirit is there, and we take ourselves off of it. So when you witness yourself, you can put yourself back in your own flow.
But when you stay up, I think where you were going, it's like when you don't do that, that's when you forget your essence and you go into that spiral of, oh, I'm not enough. And look, it's true. I'm really as bad as I think I am. But when you can witness it, oh, look what I'm doing. You can get back on the path of consciousness.
And like we did today, you also want to invest your time envisioning that higher life.
Yes.
So that when you get back on, you have something higher that's pulling you up.
Right.
So I'm going to read some of these comments. So Araceli, I hope I'm saying your name right. It's a beautiful name. Araceli. I give myself permission to evolve and become the best version of myself physically and spiritually. So that's a really powerful intention. I give myself permission to evolve and become the best version of myself physically and spiritually. Mona's saying, yes, today is the best day of my life. Gonna wear my smile as my fashion.
I love that line. I love that line. I'm like, someone caught it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let love be my action.
Yes. Smile as my fashion, love be my action.
Yeah.
Okay, smile as our fashion, love be our action, everybody. So we're all in style today. Trendy. Hashtag smile as my fashion. Excellent. Deepti is saying, shift back to witnesser mode.
Yes.
Excellent. Shift back to witnesser mode. So anybody else want to share anything that you're leaving with? You want to say it out loud? You want to hear it out loud? This is the power of coming together in collective consciousness. You've gone within, you've heard it from the inside out, and now we're all leaving, hopefully on fire, to live out the rest of this day until we come back together on Friday. And remember this when you're doing the dishes, when you're doing your laundry later, when you're cleaning your home, when you're interacting with your children, when you're on the phone with a friend. Allow this energy to be alive within you so that you're contagious, so that you bring this to your conversations, to your interactions, to your connections. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, anybody? Any other? Let me see here.
Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. Ooh la 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 la, best day of my life. And I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. I have so much more to be grateful than to be sorry for. Those are just two musical things that if you can get back to those, just sing those. Or find a song that works for you, because a prayer song is twice prayed. And when we begin singing those, I guarantee you it's going to change. You know, I remember Ron and Mary saying, it's like, well, if you're feeling down stuff, go run, go move, go take an action step. And I think singing is a great action step to take and help shift our energy and raise our vibration.
That's why I keep them here.
Yeah.
I'm a smart girl. I know the
You're a
power
smart
of that.
girl.
I know the power
You pay
of
me
these.
well for that. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We love you. We will see you on Friday, same time, same place. Tell your friends. Bring some friends, and we'll see you then.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace and blessings. Share it with your friends.